The fact of being who or what a person is called identity. And many times we get our identities out of those things we do. Like for me, hey, I'm a musician, or somebody else is a doctor, or somebody else is a pastor or a lawyer or whatever it is. But we know as Christians our identity really comes from Christ. And that is, it's great the things we do, but our inner identity needs to come from Him. And along with that thought is, what are you going to be known for in and throughout your life? That thought to me is something that I've really pondered on, because I'm thinking I want to be known for stuff that represents Christ, godly stuff. When I was playing in local bands up in New York, we would play in these places and all kinds of characters would come in. There was this one guy that came in. We'd play this club called the Little Big Man. It was in Utica, New York. Long, narrow, big stage, black lights. It was the typical 70s thing, smells of patchouli in the air. And on the dance floor, there was this tall, willowy guy that would come in, and we'd be playing David Bowie and Mott the Hoople, and this guy would be moving in these real fluid moves, just dancing all by himself. And he'd have his drink in his hand. And at one point, when he'd finish his drink and he's still dancing, he'd eat the glass. And he'd start bite by bite to eat that glass and crunch that glass so he could, it was like a sideshow act. And to this day, when me and my buddies ever get together, we talk about, hey, remember that guy, that glass eater guy? So what's he going to be known for? He could be the nicest guy in the world, but all I know about him was he knew how to eat a glass without getting hurt. And then there's a guy, Freddie Cretella was another friend of mine. There's a million of these kind of people in my life, and I'm sure in yours too. Freddie owned an Italian restaurant. It was called Cretella's. Whenever we walked in this place, we'd get a seat. Freddie would come out from the kitchen. He had his apron on. He had sauce stains all over. We'd call it his medals. And he'd pull up a chair and he'd sit down at the table with us. And he'd tell us stories, and we'd laugh. He drove my kids crazy because, they're thinking, Dad, let's just eat and get out of here. But Freddie was a kind, warm guy, and he would hang out at that table. And that kindness I'll never forget. I'm going to remember him for that. My father was another guy. He was a photographer and a musician. And in his later years in life, he would walk through the neighborhood and he would take pictures of people. And he would pull out his little spiral notebook, get their names and addresses. They actually gave it to him. They weren't creeped out by this. And he would send them these pictures. And long after he went to heaven, people would say, man, I'll never forget your father would take a picture of us, and he actually mailed it to us. Guys, kindness is not quickly forgotten. And it's something that if we spend our lives being kind to others and letting that Christ-like feature be part of our identity, that's going to go a long way. There's many things, many scriptures that speak about this as well. John 13:35, men will know we are disciples of Jesus by our love for one another. Let's do that, right? The two greatest commandments, love God, love one another. That's on my refrigerator, scrolls on my computer screen. I love that because I want to be like that in my life. I want to love people to the point that when they see me, they see God. I don't always get it right, but I do my best. So let's know that we're made to do good stuff for the kingdom of God. That's our identity.